Good morning, students. Today we would be discussing about factors of production. Okay, so in the previous class we had discussed about how Palampur is a well-developed village, and we came to know that farming and non-farming activity were the main activities being occurred in the village Palampur. Alright, so why these activities used to occur? Because they want to produce. Okay, so that's what we want to discuss, that what is the main aim of production. Why do people produce? Okay, they produce because they want to satisfy the need of the people. Okay, so every activity which has been done, it has been done in order to satisfy the needs of the people, and we will talk about the factors of production, and these factors of production can be categorized into four requirements which we would be studying into the next slide. Alright, so here comes the concept that what is factor of production, that in order to carry out production, what are the main things which are being required. Alright, that's what we call as factor of production. So I hope it is clear to you all that what is the main aim of production, to satisfy the needs of the people, and these factors can be categorized into four requirements. So as we have discussed, the factors of production are divided into four requirements. Alright, the first requirement here is land, forest, minerals, water and other natural resources. Okay, the second requirement is land, that is people who will do the work. Third requirement, physical capital. What are physical capital? That is inputs required to carry out production. Fourth requirement is the human capital, who brings together all the requirement to attain production. Okay, so these are the four requirements. Now let us understand what these requirements are. For example, if you want to produce anything, let's say if you want to make a card, what is the first requirement you may be needing? You may need a place where you can make the production. Okay, likewise when the production has to be done, alright, what is the first thing which has been required? Land, forest. Let's say for example agriculture, what do you need in order to do the farming? Land, or for any other thing, forest, minerals, water, any other natural resources. That's going to be the very first and important requirement. Then second requirement is the labor. That means who is going to work on land? Labor. ठीक है, तो second requirement क्या होगा? Labor, that is people who will do the work. Third requirement, when we come to third requirement is the physical capital. फिजिकल कैपिटल क्या होता है? वो इनपुट्स, वो चीज़ें जो ज़रूरी होती हैं किसी भी प्रोडक्शन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए. ठीक है, सो फिजिकल कैपिटल इज़ व्हाट? दैट इज़ द इनपुट्स रिक्वायर्ड टू कैरी आउट प्रोडक्शन. Then what is the fourth requirement? Fourth requirement is the human capital. We know human beings, when these human beings attain knowledge, attain skills, alright, then they become the human capital. Okay, so human capital is whom? Human capital is the very first and the most important requirement, who brings together all the requirements. He is the one who brings out the land, the labor and the physical capital together in order to complete the production. Alright, so that's what is the fourth requirement. Now I hope you have understood all the four requirements. First requirement, land, forest, mineral, water and any other natural resources. Second requirement is the labor who are going to work on the first requirement. Okay, who will work on land? Who will work on the forest, minerals and water? Water is useless without people. Okay, so labor is the people who will do the work. Third requirement is the physical capital. Okay, the things which are being required to make the production. Like I have told you the example of making a card. So what are going to be the physical capital there? The sketch pens, the scale, the colors, alright, the crayons, they are going to be the inputs which are being required to make the card. So that is the physical capital. For agriculture, you may be needing seeds, okay, and plow and any other things. Okay, so they are the physical capital. And next is the Human capital. Human capital, the human beings with their knowledge, with their skills, with their abilities, they bring together the land, forest, minerals, the labor who will do the work, and the physical capital together in order to complete the production. That's what are the 4 factors of production. Now in the next slide we would be discussing about the third requirement in detail, which is the physical capital. Alright, physical capital. I hope you have understood what physical capital is. The inputs which is required to carry out the production. Now this physical capital is subdivided into 2 parts, fixed capital and working capital. What is this fixed capital? Fixed capital are the inputs which can be used for many years. Okay, for example, plants, buildings, machineries. Okay, this is something which a factory or any industry makes the investment and uses it for over many years. For example, a television, a refrigerator in your house, this is something you do not purchase very often. Okay, you purchase it once they stopped working. Okay, you purchase. Okay, so this is something which can be used for many years. Okay, next is the working capital. What is this working capital? Which can be used for short period. Once they are finished, you have to purchase it again. For example, the raw material or the money in hand. The raw materials, okay, like for a potter, clay is the raw material, because once the clay is finished, he has to purchase it again in order to make the production. That is the working capital. Money in hand, the money required to purchase the working capital or to purchase the raw material. Once the money is finished, you may need the another round of money in hand to be with you. Okay, so that's the working capital. So physical capital subdivided into 2 parts. फिक्स्ड कैपिटल जो हम लंबे समय तक के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, प्लांट्स, बिल्डिंग्स, मशीनरीज एट्सेट्रा. ओके, द वर्किंग कैपिटल विच कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर शॉर्ट पीरियड, जो थोड़े समय के लिए यूज़ होती है, एंड वंस दे आर फिनिश्ड दे हैज़ टू बी परचेस्ड अगेन. दैट्स व्हाट इज वर्किंग कैपिटल. Alright, now let's summarize the factors of production again. These factors of production are divided into 4. They are classified into 4 requirements. First, land. Second, labor, that is people who will do the work. Third, the physical capital which we have discussed. And fourth most important is the human capital. Okay, that means who brings together all the resources and all the requirements in order to carry out the production. Alright, so that's what are the factors of production. I hope you have understood it well.